California at this point, they should just like withhold funding and paying like money to the United States government at this point. All right. Like if Trump is so willing to like withhold funding from California, California should just like not give any money back to the United States at this point. Like if that ever happens, right? Because California is spitting out more than people are putting into California. California is giving a lot of money back. Like the people who are benefiting the most from illegal immigrants working are southern, poor as broken down southern states who can't sustain themselves without slavery. So instead, they have to rely on California providing all the GDP and funding, okay, necessary to sustain that shit, but okay.
We had General Raisin Kane, who's now the head of the Joint
He
Chiefs
loves saying that,
Staff,
doesn't he?
Because I liked him. He was a warrior. He was a great warrior, and now he's been rewarded for his incredible work. But they said it would take 5 years, and we did it in 4 weeks. Someday I'm going to ask him to explain that one to me. But it was the television generals that said that. The real generals got out and fought, and nobody fought like them ever. But for the American people, there's no greater pride because you are the righteous sword of American justice.
Yeah. Guys, he just said pride during Pride Month. Dude, shout out to all my LGBTQ brothers, sisters, and they, thems, okay? He just gave a shout out to non-binary people, okay?
And the ultimate shield of American freedom. This week we remember that we only have a country because we first had an army. The army was first. In fact, the army was even before the country. You know that, right? 1 year before the country.
Well, that would make sense because that's how you got the country.
250 years, we still proudly declare.
Wow, this is really insightful stuff. Oh my god, oh right, we had the army before the country. Oh, that makes sense. That's how we got the country, right? We got the army came first. The army got us the country. Why does he sound so retarded? He sounds so stupid. What the fuck? Why?
We are free because you are strong. You are so strong. We're safe because you are brave, and America's flag will never fall because America's army will never, ever fail. Never going to fail. Every branch of the armed forces has played a critical role in protecting our nation.
Bragg was changed to liberty to remove Confederacy in public spaces.
Winning than the U.S. Army. Nobody's done that. The Army has earned more combat medals and more battle ribbons than any other service, and 70% of all of the medals of honor. We give away medals of honor all the time at the White House to incredibly brave people, but you have 70% of them.
You could do the rocket story again?
Army soldiers, and especially our Army paratroopers, truly go all the way. You know that expression, all the way. It's one of your beautiful expressions. As President of the United States, let me express my undying gratitude to our nation, for every soldier here today, for every veteran and their families, those incredible families that are with us and all across America, and for every patriot who has worn the uniform over 250 years. Can you imagine that?
No third base?
We thank you from the absolute bottom of our hearts.
Army terms 250 in 4 days.
Few places loom larger in Army lore than where we are gathered today. The one and only Fort Bragg. The one and only Fort Bragg.
First time hearing of it. Never heard of Fort Bragg. But...
All right.
Honestly, the only like military place I've known is West Point, I think. But I think it's just because West Point is like famous or some shit. But yeah, I don't know all the other forts.
What the hell is he talking about?
But remember, it was only that little brief moment that it wasn't called Fort Bragg. It was by the Biden administration, not Trump. I had nothing to do with it. We got it changed.
Nobody knows. Yeah.
He said, I came here numerous times, and they kept saying Fort Bragg, Fort Bragg. I said,
he's bragging. Yeah.
Then I was making
He's
a
on
speech.
script again.
You think I should
Oh, he already said this shit.
I I said, Fort Bragg, how you doing? We won a lot of battles from this place,
Oh,
and
God.
that's the way it is. It wasn't even close. When Pete and some
Holy
of the
fuck.
generals came to see me, I said, not even close. Not even close. This is the home of the Green Berets, the Sky Dragons, and the All-American 82nd Airborne. We know what 82nd Airborne Division. This is where the GIs who won the Second World War
He's okay? No, he's not okay.
learned to pack their parachutes and push howitzers and go right into those C-47s with lots of arms and push them right out those big, beautiful doors and wield their bayonets and pry the enemy from the hedgerows of the French countryside. France needed us badly. We were there. A lot of people needed us badly. They still do, maybe worse than ever.
Jesus
It was here
Christ.
in the soil that the Army forged the metal that held.
What even is the point of these speeches? I don't even know what these do. It makes Trump feel good, okay? That is the point of these speeches, all right? It makes Trump feel good. It makes his base excited. You need like a constant stream of propaganda in order to satisfy the Trump voters. Like, you can't just create like one military speech at the very beginning and that's it. Like, no, like then at this point he will fade into a little bit. Like he needs to be at the forefront, okay? He feels as though he needs to be at the forefront to remind the Trump voters that wow, look at how manly and, you know, patriotic he is. But yeah.
Held strong at Bastogne. It was here the mighty.
He does these rallies but he can't get elected. He's not doing this to get elected. Okay? And probably he's probably go for a third term anyway. All right? He's probably doing these because it makes him feel good. All right? He likes reading social media posts where Trump supporters are essentially glazing him over this rally, right? Like he wants people to go, oh my God, Trump, you're just so manly when you're in front of this crowd of people that are already like there to believe what you're saying, and people who have to go through screening before coming into this audience to make sure that you're actually loyal to Trump in the first place before showing up in the audience, right? Like, yeah, of course, it just makes him feel good.
Paratroopers earned their wings before they rained down death from above to liberate Sicily, Normandy, and even the Netherlands. That's right. We saved the Netherlands.
Even the Netherlands,
What?
these goddamn
Every inch of this base is
Netherlanders.
steeped in the legacy of those warriors who have.
You think at the end of the day he kicks his feet in bed while reading tweets? 100%, okay? Dude, Trump is just a silly birthday boy, okay? He's a silly birthday boy. He kicks back his slippers, all right? He jumps into his big, fat, golden, like, I don't know, queen, king sized bed, okay? The only bed size, like, meant to fit him, all right? And then he kicks his feet back and he just, like, goes giggling. He giggles, he rolls around in bed, all right? Like a little schoolgirl, okay? As he's reading his own supporters' tweets while watching Fox News in the background for white noise, okay? Because he's an autistic little kid. But yeah.
Said with pride, sir, I trained at Fort Bragg, sir.
Yeah, dude, he's eating his chicken nuggies, okay?
That was pretty cool. And that is why we restored the historic name of this very, very special place. I don't know if it could be the same place.
I feel like
Fort Bragg is in. That's the name. And Fort Bragg, it shall always remain. That's never going to be happening again.
Okay. I think probably should look at some other stuff in a minute. We'll give a few more minutes.
And for a little news for the fake news back there.
Oh,
the
here we
fake
go.
News. Ladies and gentlemen, look at them. Look at them all. Oh, yeah, what I have to put up with. Fake news. What I have to put up with.
Oh,
But they're
jeez.
all right. They've been very nice today. They were impressed with that display, I can tell you that. I think it took them a little by surprise. But for a little breaking news, we are also going to be restoring the names to Fort Pickett, Fort Hood, Fort Gordon, Fort Rucker, Fort Polk, Fort A.P. Hill, and Fort Robert E. Lee.
Damn.
We won a lot of battles.
Okay. All right, Asmongold, give us your commentary on that. Robert E. Lee, okay? Renaming a military fort back to the Confederacy, who split off from the United States in order to fight for the right of states' rights to own slaves. Okay, let's hear Asmongold.
Battles out of those forts. It's no time to change.
Man,
I'm superstitious, you know.
That's
I like
a big one,
going, right? I'm
that's
very
the big
superstitious. We want to keep it going. So that's a big story. We just announced that today to you for the first time. They said, "Why didn't you wait?"
Thank you, Asmongold, for your amazing and amazing commentary there, Asmongold. Oh my God, dude, I didn't know that you thought that way about Robert E. Lee. Man, yeah, he is a man. Robert E. Lee is a man. I guess he is a man.
Wait till Saturday. I said, I can't wait.
True.
I got to talk to
What's that? Robert E. Lee was the Confederate general in the Civil War.
You never had a crowd this big. That's an honor.
Oh, he knows.
You think this crowd would have?
So, do you have any problem with that, Asmongold? Like, you know, renaming a fort back to to that guy? It's kind of like renaming, you know, it's kind of like moving the capital back to Stalingrad. It's kind of like renaming a city back to Stalingrad in Russia. All right, like it's kind of like renaming Berlin to like Hitlerville or something. Do you
showed up for Biden? I don't think so.
Who said Fortnite?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I want to thank so many great leaders here today, including Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, who's been great. By the way, Pete, thank you.
Yes, Signal Chat leaker. Let's fucking go.
I think there's a whole lot going on with this. I think he's just pretty much talking about some other stuff.
He went through the wars, yeah.
Amazing commentary.
Yeah, there's. I think he's just gonna be talking about like other random shit, etc. Right? I mean, there's not really like this is just really about military stuff, etc.
These have to be paid troublemakers.
Mr. President, you used to say that the governor and the mayor pay.
Seeing the soldiers clap for his ass demoralizes the fuck out of me. Yeah, me too. But the thing is that you have to keep in mind that these people are pre-screened. I've seen somewhere that, you know, these soldiers are essentially pre-screened for being pro-Trump in the first place. So you're not seeing all the soldiers that are anti-Trump who, you know, whatever. And obviously because he's the commander-in-chief of the United States Army, he kind of has to like be there by default. Yeah, you can't, it's not like you can restrict the president's access to a military base. Yeah.
Do you believe that the governor and the mayor paid the agitators?
No, I don't say the governor or the mayor. I said somebody's paying them, I think. And if they're not, they're just troublemakers. What can I tell you? But
can he elaborate how the Confederacy were fucking loser bitches? Hey! That's some of these soldiers' great-great-great-great-grandfather, okay? How dare you insult these brave soldiers' family legacy, okay? The legacy of 4 years of a failed insurrection where they tried to fight for the right to own slaves, to keep people in... To keep people working these cotton farms and whipping them until daddy comes home. All right.
I believe somebody's paying them. I mean, I've never seen somebody with a big hammer so professional. Now they took the bricks away from them. So they say, how do we get in? The military did. How do we get in and what do we do? They said, I have an idea. Let's break up the concrete. Smart. And that's even better than bricks. And that's what happened.
Yeah, you just witnessed an amazing spectacle, a flex on our military. What impressed you the most?
I think the total love for the military. I mean, I was with the generals. They're explaining the different maneuvers. And the love they have for the Army and the military is beautiful. They're really great people. And I've never seen anything quite like that. I don't think any other president has either. You know, they really put on a good show. I asked them, did you do that for Biden? They said no, they didn't do it for Biden. I wonder why.
Oh my God.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I know this. As long as we have the military.
Wow, no way. The speech, dude, again, dude, he's so insecure. Why? Why is our president so insecure? Oh my God. It's like, did they do it for Biden? I bet Biden had less crowd sizes. I bet Biden had less in his crowd size. I bet Biden had less excitement in his rallies. Just like, please, dude, this dick measuring contest. Oh my glory.
They're there. The protests won't mean anything. Last night, if we weren't there, they would have burned down the city. But they did not a lot of damage other than they broke up a lot of concrete looking for weapons. You know, those are weapons. If that hits somebody in the head, the person's dead. You know that, right?
Yes,
What do you mean by a very heavy force will be met with the protest?
Oh, the military will be very heavy force. I'm very proud to tell you that.
Oh, man.
They might as well turn around. They're wasting their time.
Man, that's crazy,
some of them
right?
will end up in jail for a long period of time. They use weapons. That concrete is a weapon, a dangerous weapon. Worse than a brick, heavier than a brick. And they were dropping it off bridges and throwing it at soldiers and police.
Damn, that's nuts.
They're not doing.
I feel like I'm in like a catatonic comatose state right now where I've been injected with melatonin, okay? Where it's not like, you know, it's not like how should I put it? It's not like I took melatonin gummies. It's like if melatonin was like injected directly into my veins, okay? This is like how I feel when I'm watching Asmongold. It's like his commentary is like, man, yep, Trump is a man, so, you know, he's not wrong there. And then he's like, wow, how about that? Yeah, true. I'll use Asmongold to fall asleep, okay? It's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, nothing wrong with using some white noise to fall asleep too. All right.
That. You know, I went in my first term. I waited for governors to call in the military, and they didn't want to do it.
Tried to be nice.
And I watched Minneapolis and other places burn for a long time. And I said, when are you going to call? When are you going to call? And I said, if I ever do this again, if they're not responsive at the beginning, not at the end.
Dude, Trump is like this. Vegetable, cabbage is vegetable. Cabbage is a vegetable. And then Asmongold is like, masterful gambit, good sire. Masterful gambit. Yes, indeed. I see your moves. Okay, you said this in this specific way. Indeedeth. I see it. Your moves be quite intelligent.
You know, I called in the military in Minneapolis, but it was 7 days. I waited for this guy, the same guy that ran for vice president, who's a very dumb person. He's a low IQ individual, like many Democrats are. But I waited for him to call him in. I kept waiting. I called him every day and say, when are you calling him? And finally I called him because I'm not going to wait. They were destroying the city. The whole city was burning down. Horrible. Okay.
I guess have set a hearing for Thursday.
It's not. I mean, there's plenty of violence to go around right now, but like, it's not burning down. Okay, like I don't know how to say this, but
from Governor Newsom's lawsuit, do you think your administration will be successful?
Can we have 2 lines about girl cock to comfort us in these dark days? Yeah. One day I'll chop mine off.
Thursday for the hearing.
Well, even Senator Fetterman said very strongly that this is horrible what they're doing, and that the Democrats are making a big mistake by not talking about it.
Yep.
And
True.
I agree with that. I think this is in a league with, and maybe even worse in a true sense, what they're doing is now worse than men playing in women's sports. I think that's a ridiculous thing. Open borders. You take a look at open borders. Open borders is what caused it.
Keep it where it's trash. No, they need the skin. They need the skin to fashion into the neo-vagina. Okay?
Many of these people, many of them, not all of them, I guess, but many of them came through the Joe Biden stupid open borders. Really sad to watch. It's very sad to watch this being our country. Now, with our National Guard and our, fairly low number of Marines, they had no chance. And if you look, they were a little bit tougher than the police. Did you notice that? The police are trained not to do it. They're really trained. They're under tremendous political constraint. They're great police. I know the police in L.A. I know the force. They're very good, but they're not allowed to do their thing. They're just not allowed. They're restricted by radical left politicians.
That's true.
Who are pretty shameful.
As Commander-in-Chief, sir, what rules of engagement do you want for the military? What limitations?
A very simple rule of engagement. If they're dangerous, if they're throwing concrete or bricks, if they're spitting in the face of the police or whoever's in front of them,
See, finally.
if they're punching people, if they're doing all of the things that you see done for the last 3 nights, that I would say is engagement. We need to keep our city straight. I want to save Los Angeles. And
Finally.
Again, all right, the military forces escalated tensions. Yes, they were protesting for 3 days on end, but the LAPD literally said, hey, by the way, we've got things handled. We don't really need any help. All right, there's no need to deploy the National Guard or deploy anybody here. There's no need to deploy federal troops here. And then Trump did it anyway. Tensions were raised. And then now there's even more rioting. So, yeah.
Is totally incompetent.
Holy shit,
He's not gonna do
finally.
it. Look at the fires he had. He
Really,
had
watch it
fires where
just
half
shrink?
the city, it seems,
It's
burned
obvious.
down. What was it, 25,000 houses?
It's too
All
obvious.
because he wouldn't take water. I released the water from the Pacific
he on that water shit
Northwest.
again.
And it came down millions of gallons a day. And it's right there right now. They'd like to send it back. There's something wrong with these people. All I want in terms of engagement, I just want to see peace. If there's peace, we get out. If there's even a chance of no peace, we stay there until there's peace. And a lot of people are being arrested. The rioters, or whatever you want to call them, they better know. A lot of people are being arrested. They're going to be in jail
they're going
for a
on
long
the
time.
bus.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Man.
All right, so President Trump speaking there with the media, traveling with him. He's
That shit's
on the
loud,
tarmac
bro.
at Joint Base Andrews,
God
talking
damn,
about
that
a
shit
whole
was
host
loud.
of topics. Apologized there, went right to color bars, including, though, the anti-ICE demonstrations in Los Angeles.
Yeah, no, I mean, and they putting them on. They putting them in there, bro. Like they're getting packed in like sardines on those buses, man. And they're gonna be out.
Wow. So cool. I've been waiting for blood on the street since Gamergate. Did you read these? Did you read that from Asmongold's chat? Jesus. Can you send me some screenshots of Asmongold's chat being unhinged? Yeah, just so we could like just put on screen for a segment or something. Yeah. I don't think Asmon knows anything. He turns his brain off fully like he's watching a show. No, I'm just what I'm imagining Asmongold's subconscious. Yeah. He turns his brain off fully. No, yeah, I mean, like, again, he watches this kind of stuff because to him this is entertainment. Okay, I think that Asmongold has convinced himself into thinking that he actually cares about this stuff, and he probably does to some degree care about this stuff, but there's like obviously some dishonesty there, right? Like he clearly, it's like, okay, like if I was Asmongold, I would be waking up every morning thinking, well, it's time to go milk the cows again. Okay, except instead of like milking, it's like farming donos from the viewers and farming like ad revenue from the from the viewers in terms of like showing this obvious propaganda of like, oh wow, look how violent the protests are, oh my god, we need martial law in the state or whatever. But you know, that's how it begins, right? That's how it begins. First they came for the Californians and nobody spoke out, nobody were there to help them. Then they came for the West Coast and nobody there went, nobody spoke out. Then they came for the Midwest and nobody spoke out. Then he went for the whole nation, and there was nobody left because everybody else has already been silenced. Yep, there you go. Okay. But yeah. Foods thinks I'm a cow. True. Ooh. I don't think Asmon... I wish I was in Asmongold's chair. Careful. Okay. That chair is a chew toy for the cockroaches in his room. Like the way he views this stuff is like the way that he treats the stuff at the very least is it is a lot like reality TV. I think it's definitely like reality TV. I think it's the like is the way that he kind of views this stuff, right? Does that make sense? It's yeah, it's definitely like reality TV type slop, right? It's like he's watching Wheel of Fortune or something. And he views this as like celebrity chef shows or something, like Gordon Ramsay cooking up something in the kitchen, except instead, you know, Trump is frying immigrants. And he's like, oh my god, this is so fucking epic. This season is so hype. Oh my god, it's so cool.